I see I'm not going anywhere. So I guess this is the time you tell your flashback story.
If I must. I first met Destania at the Saya, which is an academy for the succubi and incubi species to learn our trade and history. Destania was an instructor at Saya, and under her teachings I learned everything about the ways of the succubi. However, she was more than a teacher. She soon became my best friend. She was an amazing succubi, a true creature of beauty and grace.
Since we're on the topic, I don't suppose you know any cute canine friends you could hook me up with.
Don't interrupt my emotional flashback story. I can still just kill you. One day she left for an assignment and never came back. It was my last year at the academy, so I couldn't leave to find her. Days turned to weeks and then months, each with no word from her. Finally, I graduated and set off to find Destania. The first place I went to was the Temple of the Phoenix Oracles. If anyone knows anything, it's them. Of course, the Oracles aren't very famous for their clarity and straightforwardness. Luckily, they were very sympathetic through my story.
The star that shines withers the rose of midnight. I mean, the life of Destania has ended at the hands of Daniel Tifana!
After that, I spent years searching, but to no luck. I had just about given up when I met Merlitz, and here we are now.
Listen, that oracle was talking junk. I haven't killed any succubi, and I don't know any Destania.
Daniel! Must you always fight outside my inn? What is this about not knowing anyone by the name of Destania? I know you're forgetful, but geez, even that?
What? Who is it?
It's Mom's maiden name. I could have sworn she told you that.
What?
Aha! I knew that name was very familiar.
After Destania left, she'd been attacked. Just barely winning, she'd stumbled into an inn with the hopes of getting shelter from the incoming storm. However, beings back then weren't too accepting of creatures, and the group was ready to finish her off. Which they might have, had it not been for the innkeeper, Edward T. Fiona.
Alright, that's enough. There will be no slayings going on tonight.
Fiona, are you mad? She's a demon!
She'll kill you! Hey, this is my inn. And if I want to let beautiful women devour my soul in my sleep, then that's the way it's gonna be, you hear?
Dad never was too much in the common sense department. Guess that's where Dan gets it.
Hey!
Do not interrupt the flashback.
Destania, was it? I'll show you to a room where you can rest and see to it no one else causes you trouble.
You shouldn't be so kind. You know by my laws it's my job to destroy you now.
If that's how you feel things must be, then that's how it must be, I suppose. Who am I to argue with your laws? Either way, I won't fight it. Do your worst.
I now pronounce you husband and wife.
Who's Mama's little angel? Mama's little Daniel. Little angel Dan.
Dan? That's a nice name, Destania.
Destania. Such a foreign name. The name of a succubus, and the name of a life that is now long since over. I can't go back now. So I guess I start over and a new life, starting with these little hands.
Baby photos are so cute!
Dan was such an adorable little baby.
I have the most adorable set of pictures of him back at the inn.
Oh, I'd rather be dead again.
It seems I owe you a big apology, Dan.
Nah, it's okay. It's not like you're the first girl to try to slaughter me painfully.
I feel rather dumb, though. I mean, I tried to kill you based on an ambiguous prediction from the Oracle.
It can happen to anyone really with what they say. It's like they intentionally make their fortunes vague.
Eep! A guy is coming who is looking for his lost beloved. Can I give him the address?
I wish. But you know as much as I, we can't break union rules. So, make up some metaphor involving, fishing.
How can you just forgive me like that? I tried to kill you. Aren't you just a little angry?
Really? It's okay. Everything turned out fine, so why should I hold a grudge?
That's just so amazing. I have never met anyone besides Merlitz who is so forgiving and understanding. Destania must be so proud to have such a wonderful and kind incubus like you for a son.
Wait. Stop there for a sec.
Something wrong, brethren?
Don't call me that. I'm not an incubus.
Don't be silly. Of course you are.
No, I'm not. I might be Destania's son, but I am not an incubus. The only thing I ever inherited from my mom was her wings, and that doesn't make me a...
Your first second wings came in. How exciting! And here's me without a camera to take a picture of this moment.
I got one.
What the heck did you do to me?
Nothing. All our kind get our second wings when we reach adulthood.
God, no!
Yes. When you reach adulthood, it fully kicks in. It's not like we are born with all the powers.
That's nice, but how do I reverse it? I don't want to be an incubus!
What? This is the greatest honor ever. You should be proud. Nothing is greater than entering the dreams of your prey and tearing them apart while they sleep. Not that I would ever do that to you, dear. I'm talking about before.
Maybe so, but I've got this urge to sleep with a bat regardless.
Oh, honey.
I'm sorry, Dan. I should have sat down and warned you about this sooner.
What? You knew?
Sort of. Mom told me a little bit about it before she left. She said you would begin showing a couple signs that your incubus side would be kicking in, and I did notice. I was just worried that you were going to panic. Of course, I guess you finding out this way is much worse.
Wait, signs? What signs?
Oh, let's see. How about the fact you've lived 3 years on nothing but ale?
You mean it's not full of vitamins and nutrients?
So, Lexi, shouldn't you be a succubus then?
Huh? Oh, Destania isn't my biological mom. My mom died about 2 years before Dad got married to Destania.
I'm sorry.
Nah, don't be. I was too young to remember, which is why I considered Destania my mom, since she raised me. It's not like it makes Dan any less my brother, and not like anyone cares about the details like that. You're upset.
Why, of course not. I just love the idea that I'm now destined to being a part of the demon race.
Oh, come on. It's not that bad.
Alexi, I was an adventurer, and I've seen the types that make up the demon race. Heck, I stopped a good deal of their plans myself. I don't want to be associated with a group that uses and hurts others for their benefit.
I think you're overreacting a bit.
There are freaking wings coming out of my head! I get every right to overreact!
Maybe you should lay down a bit, Dan. We can talk later and stuff.
Why am I the only one who seems to realize how bad this really is? How am I supposed to be calm when everything I am is what I'm not?
Aw, Dan, cheer up. I'm sure things will turn out okay. After all, you now have hundreds of years to come to terms with the change. Alexi, was Dan aware that succubi and incubi live for a couple thousand years?
Let me tell you a little story about timing, Mab.
Oh, hey, Dan. Whoa. Dad, your wings had, like, baby wings.
This isn't the best time for jokes, Fatofi.
Righto. Hope things work out.
Well, this definitely is a big change in my life. I guess I'll have to live with it. And outlive everyone I've ever cared about. Added to the fact that I'll likely start hunting others, and then be hunted down by other adventurers. Or does it actually change who I am? I wish I had some sort of sign to tell me.
Feeling better?
Pain has never felt so good.